Good day and welcome to the video. In this video I shall be making another helmet from the For Honor game by Ubisoft. This helmet is called Merope in game and is essentially an upgrade to the Arcturus helmet I made a few months ago. However, this one looks more badass in my opinion, so of course I'd want to build it. Now let's get on with the making. Here are the many templates I shall be using to construct this helmet. This thick sheet of 10mm EVA foam will be used to build up the main structure of the helmet. While this thin sheet of 2mm foam will be used to add detailing to protrude some areas. My first step into constructing this helmet is to grab my two faceplates, along with their skinny siblings, and glue them together. For this, I am using this contact adhesive, which I use to cover both pieces. I then used my gloved finger to spread the smelly glue to Gooping the entire surface. I then left the glue to dry for a few minutes and then united the two together. Now, to add this jaw detailing, I just used some more glue. All of the parts for the two faceplates are now assembled and looking lavish. For this extra detail that will be attached later, I glue two of them together to make the one piece thicker. My next step is to take all of my major pieces outside so I can use my Dremel to neaten their edges. And also, by adding a bevel to some edges, I will be able to create an angle between plates when gluing everything together later on. As you may notice, the British climate wasn't kind to me. I soon returned indoors to start assembling the helmet together entirely. I start by joining the two faceplates using the very same gluing technique. These two plates will unite to make the forehead of the helmet. Before completely assembling everything together, I first use this heat gun to soften the foam, allowing me to shape it however I like until it cools down. Using this, I add a curve onto all parts, so the process of gluing everything together would be more forgiving. To begin the final assembly, I bond the faceplate to the lower backplate. I then glue one half of the forehead on top of the face, making sure it all lines up nicely before tackling the other half. I then attach the upper back plate to the semi-constructed helmet as if it were the last piece of a very sticky puzzle. This piece here is the lid of the helmet. Before joining it to the rest of the helmet, I use the heat gun to blast it, making it more malleable and compliant. I then use my fist, being careful that the foam may still be hot, to shape the lid into a shallow bowl. To join the lid to complete the foundations of the helmet, I apply glue to both contact points. And then begin sticking it down, going around the edge a bit at a time, making sure it lines up as accurately as possible. Now that the helmet has its final shape, I can now roughly poke out the eye holes and breathing vents. I then used my Dremel to neaten the cutouts, which was a very tedious job that I completed off camera. I also used my Dremel to knock back the overhang round the lid so it becomes flush with the rest of the helmet. And again round the inside edge of the head hole for no good reason other than it looks nice. Then finally I used my Dremel with a grinding head this time to round both edges of the jaw detailing on both sides of the face. My next step is to attach all of the detail pieces, starting with the headband. For the headband, I glue up a length at a time so that I am more in control of what it gets stuck to. I wrap the band all the way round and then slice off any extra length. Next to be attached is the face detailing. I glue up along the fold line on both the face detailing and its contact point. I then joined the rest of the pieces to the helmet off camera so I could make certain that it was all accurately placed on. I used my heat gun again to cook the foam, shrinking it slightly to seal all its pores. I can now fix up any gaps between joins using this adhesive caulk hole filler. I liberally apply the hole filler to the join between the face and forehead detailing, then around the top of the headband using my finger. I then use water to smoothen and blend the caulk out. Leaving the caulk to dry for a few hours, I then mark out where my rivet detailing is going to go. The rivets I used are made from galvanized nail heads, A reminder of how I make these, if you are new to the channel, is as follows. I grab a nail and use cutting pliers to separate the nail head from the rest of the nail, and repeat several dozen times. I then use a solid metal surface and a beefy hammer to smash the nail head flat, and then repeat several dozen times again. As a result, I am left with these nice, flat, tiny metal coins that can be glued on to impersonate rivets. To attach the rivets, I use super glue gel and these pair of scissors with a magnet attached to help me place the rivets onto the glue. As an added detail, I like to add some battle damage. For this, I use this hot knife or pyrography tool to cut sword slashes into the helmet. Now it's time for the painting and weathering segment of the video. I begin by applying this Plasti-Dip spray paint as a primer. Once that was dry, I then spray on a layer of matte black paint, but before it dries, I use this upholstery foam chunk to dab the paint, giving the helmet a hammered texture. For the main colour, I began by using this silver acrylic paint, which I dry brushed onto the helmet using this taped up brush. I furiously brushed one coat of silver across the entire helmet. Which I then repeated 2 more times afterwards. Until the helmet looked nice and bright. Then I thought I'd give the graphite powder another try. The powder, you may remember, I attempted to use in my Witcher Sword video. However, this time I had more confidence. I buffed on the powder using lots of cotton balls until the whole surface was covered. Then I used a clean cotton pad to buff the surface some more, which made the helmet look even more shinier than before. After the success, and to begin weathering the helmet, I used some umber brown acrylic paint, which I mixed with a little water and applied using this sponge brush. I coat a large area in liquidy paint. Then, before the paint dried too much, I went back with a tissue and dabbed away much of the excess until the helmet looked realistically filthy. Then, for some final detail, I used some watered down black acrylic paint to add grime underneath the eye slits and air vents, along the battle damage, and around the rivets to make them pop. Once I'd finished the weathering stage, the helmet was then complete. So now it's time to show off its charm in the showcase. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed by leaving a like and a comment. Also comment any suggestions you'd like to see me attempt to make in the future. Additionally, if you'd like to be kept in the loop with this channel's development, consider subscribing. It's not like you're being scammed for all your worth or anything. See you next time.